Halloween from Deadites on Deck.
Time to celebrate. It's time to party down. We're making dead Break out the cake. Pour the beverages. Get crazy with balloons and streamers galore. It's time to celebrate you. You helped me get here, and I adore you. Let's dance around like a house on fire. Let's sing out with triumph, not caring who hears us. It's time to celebrate. It's time to party down with evil dead shades.
Howdy, gang. Thank you to Poet. Thank you, Blair. Thank you, Dakota. I appreciate all of the congratulations. Once again, I've got my old buddy Jack with me tonight. And I didn't have any cake in the house, but I did make some homemade apple bread last night. So that's going to be my cake. I wish I had the ability to send out pieces of my homemade bread to everybody that's going to be in here tonight. I also have this is a quick and dirty punch I made. No, there's no alcohol in it. It's just orange juice and zero sugar Mountain Dew, and it's not bad. So that's going to serve as my cake and punch for tonight, for however long I am on here. Depends on how many people we have in here. And it's not just about me, folks, as the song said. This is about you guys and gals as well. Because I wouldn't even have a channel that is successful. I would not have gotten to 1,000 subscribers if it wasn't for you guys and gals out there. You guys and gals helped me achieve something that I've been wanting to achieve for a long time. So this is not just about me. It's about you guys and gals as well. And I wanted to, I just wanted to say that up front because, I don't know. Thank you, Kimberly. And I don't know if that's like a different name or an additional name or whatever, but thank you, Carla, if that's a separate person. Thank you very much. Thank you, The Marvel. I'm so glad that people, are being able to share in this milestone with me. But I don't know, I'm not saying that other people that reach certain milestones don't give back to the community that helped them get there. But I just wanted to, for one, make sure that you guys and gals know how much I appreciate it. And it's very humbling. Oh, okay. I got you, Kimberly. Okay. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals out there. I mean, I can't even begin to thank you enough. So this celebration, once again, is not just about me celebrating my milestone. It's celebrating you guys and gals. And I want to be able to continue to give you guys quality programming That's why, like I said last night, that's why I try to switch it up, try to get some new, uh, you know, I don't know what you would call them, segments, or not really podcasts. So we watch movies that me and Steve do. Now that technically is a podcast, and I'm very appreciative of Steve helping me out. I mean, we wouldn't have had that Spirit Halloween store tour without Steve. We wouldn't have had we wouldn't have, you know, been able to get there if he didn't take us there and stuff. We wouldn't have the We Watch movies with Steve if he didn't offer up his time to help me with those and talk about the movies that we watched for the week. Uh, Kimberly, you say, but of course you are entitled to celebrate your accomplishments, and you did it. DePoet, you say, do you think the Scream movie should only have been a trilogy? Well, I'm going to go even further than that, DePoet, and this might not be a popular answer, but it's going to be my answer. Is I don't think there should have been another Scream after the first Scream. I might have been okay with the second one, but but I knew that that would not happen because the first one made money. And when the studios see that, oh, this made money, we're going to just keep making them, right? Um, well, Kimberly, just because you have 22 subscribers does not mean you are less than anybody else out here in the world of YouTube or YouTube land or whatever you want to call it. You keep at it, and it's kind of a toss up, and people are really finicky about what kind of entertainment or what things they find entertaining. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get on here and make fun of people and do stuff like that because I see those kind of people getting popular, but that's just not how I roll. So just because that's popular, just because there's a certain group of people that like to watch that on constant rotation, I'm not going to do that. But most anything else, like, if somebody came to me and said, hey, Dana, have you ever thought of doing a stream or ever thought of doing a video on this? I will certainly try my best to provide that. So you just gotta, you gotta stick to your guns and keep at it, and it will happen. It will happen. Now my next milestone I've set for myself is to get 2,000 subscribers. And, I'm not gonna, I'm still gonna say, hey, these are the ways you can support me in the channel, and they don't cost you a dime. And that's subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, hitting the notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content I've got coming out, hitting the like button on anything and everything you particularly enjoy. If you enjoy everything, hey, hit the like button across the board. And also to share with friends and family members that you think might enjoy the content I'm putting out. Sharing is caring, folks. And I've always said that, whether it's on the job and I'm sharing a piece of information with somebody that I think is going to help them along the way, or it's out here in social media and I'm sharing something that I think people might find entertaining or of interest, or maybe it's informational. Um, Blair, yes, Steve did bring us the captain's quarters. And, I don't think Steve's going to be doing captain's quarters anymore, but I do know that he's at least considering doing some videos, not live streams, but videos. So y'all be on the lookout for that. The Marvel, you say your second channel is only 15 subscribers, so I get the struggle. My main channel only had around 50 for a long time. Yeah, guys and gals, I know y'all were talking amongst each other, but I just wanted to say that my channel seemed to be at a standstill as well there for a while. And it's easy to get discouraged, and it's easy um, to become depressed. But and I've done all of those things. I've gotten discouraged, and I've talked to my friends, and I've said there were many times when I said I think maybe I should hang up my job, you know, and maybe the YouTube lane of YouTube is not for me. But I'm so glad that Steve supported me, my friends supported me out there. Candace and Chris are always in my corner pitching for me. You know, you guys and gals that come in here and watch the stuff that I'm putting out, and you tell others about it. um I couldn't ask for a better group of friends and supporters and loved ones and all of that. And like I said, this is not only about me tonight, it's also about you guys and gals. um The poet, you say, so what franchise do you think should be one and done? Well, Scream, obviously, I thought should have been one and done. Um, I've gotten so into like the Friday the 13th series, but I think the Friday the 13th series should be done now. I think the Halloween series should be done now. I think the Nightmare on Elm Street series should be done now. And The Evil Dead, a few years ago, I would have said keep going. But if Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell and all them are not really interested in doing another Evil Dead in the capacity that they did the others, then I'd say leave that one alone too. Um, but as much as I love some of the sequels for Phantasm, I kind of think that it should have been one and done. Phantasm was so unique at the time period that it came out, like 79 or so, that I don't really think that we need it anymore. But I appreciated the fact that Don Coscarelli kept, churning those suckers out. But that left it open ended, and then we got Ravager, which Ravager, like I've said before, totally depressed me, just completely and utterly depressed me. Thank you, Kimberly. It's good to see people in here that maybe it's been a while since I've seen them or hadn't seen them in the chat at all. So it's really, really great to actually, see more people in here. I mean, we've got 7 people in here right now. That's a good one, to poet. You say, I'm going to say it. I know there is a second movie, but Black Phone. Yeah. The Marvel says, the poet, honestly, there's multiple series that should have been one and done. Like, I've had fun with a bunch of sequels. It seems nowadays that pretty much everything has to have some kind of sequel. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if the movie studios see dollar signs, then they're going to keep churning them out until there's just nothing left. So, I mean, we can use this time to. I like it that the poet jumped in there and was asking questions and things like that. If there's any questions you got of me that you want to ask, we can use this as an Ask Me Anything type of stream, as well as a celebrations stream. But it's, the floor's kind of open. I'm sorry I'm stuffing my face, but I'm kind of hungry right now. So um, I will try to answer any and all questions y'all throw at me as long as they're clean, right? And don't get too personal. Who would win, Freddy or Ghostface? I'm going to go with Freddy because he could probably get to Ghostface in his dreams where he'd be more defenseless. He or she, whoever was Ghostface at the time. The Marvel you say, I'm actually very new to this channel. I actually found it earlier today trying to figure out what was going on with the Megan Fanta flavors. Kimberly, you said Freddy Krueger gives you the creeps. Um, but the Marvel, the Megan Fanta flavors. Now, this is very weird. I went to the AMC movie theater here in town uh, to see The Long Walk. And when Steve and I were leaving, of course, I got a refill on my drink to take home. I had an icy to begin with. And then I was like, oh, they have the Halloween Fanta flavors. Let's see what they got. And they had the Megan grape. And I loved it. Now, we have a Wawa, which is a gas station kind of sandwich shop and stuff like that. I think we have more than one here in Louisville. We have one pretty close to the house. So me and Steve went there the other day, and their machine had an orange that had Megan on it. I'm like, what in the heck? Yeah, so I'm totally confused by that. You mean he's kind of scary looking, Kimberly? Blair, you want to know my favorite convention memory? Um, Probably my favorite convention memory now, Blair, is meeting Sam Raimi and having him sign my Evil Dead poster. Um, just because Sam Raimi was so gracious and so nice, and it was just like talking to an old friend. I'm not kidding about this. I saw him interact with other people before I got up there, and he was like that with everybody. So that's my favorite convention memory and recent memory. But I would imagine, due to how some of the staff treated people um, at the Lexington Comic Con that year, which has been 2 or 3 years ago now, I would really never consider going back. Let's see. The Marvel you say, pretty sure Ghostface would lose to Freddy in the dream realm, but if a Ghostface could get him into the real world, he could potentially have a better chance. That's interesting. The Poet you say you wish you met George Romero. Dawn is my favorite scary movie. Yeah, I got to meet George Romero. I guess probably a few years before he passed away. And he was a very nice man, very gracious, and very unassuming, laid back, just like a regular guy. Um, Marvel, you said what's kind of confusing about the Megan Fanta is the grape Fanta is exclusive to Freestyle. The UK has a Megan Lemon Fanta, and Brazil has a Megan Guarana Fanta. Oh yeah, that is confusing. That's confusing the heck out of me. Um, Megan, yeah, that the Megan character is pretty creepy and scary. So, guys and gals, I mean, feel free to keep, asking some questions. I don't think they have a raspberry Fanta, the poet that I know of. I mean, they have, of course, the Chucky's Punch and the Five Nights at Freddy's Orange, which is what I thought orange was until I saw it Wawa. They had Megan on it. But as far as I know, there's not a raspberry one. But I was going to say, y'all feel free to keep, throwing questions out there. Uh, and I will answer what I can. Like I said, the main reason I wanted to get on here was to eat me some homemade bread and have some punch. But really, the main reason was to tell you guys and gals how much I appreciated your patronage over the years. It was kind of punchy, Kimberly. Yeah, the Chucky fan. Blair, you say, what caused you to have a passion for horror movies? Well, that credit has to go to my mom and in some part my dad, but mainly my mom because my mom was always into horror movies. And my mom and dad took both me and my brother, even my brother, when my brother was a baby in the carrier, and they would take us to drive ins. And so I remembered things like the beginning of prom night. I remembered a vampire movie. I remember parts of Death Ship. And some people might say, well, you didn't have very good parents taking you when you were a kid to stuff like that. But my parents understood that I wouldn't get scared by this stuff. There were things that I remembered that kind of were cemented in my brain, but they didn't terrorize me. You know, if they had, I'm sure my parents wouldn't have taken me. They would have left me with a babysitter or something. Um, but yeah, my parents, they're the ones that gave me that passion for horror movies. And then as a secondary thing, my mom's sister, my Aunt Sandy, she also instilled a passion of horror movies because she's always loved them. And I remember going to her house a lot, spending the night, me and her having pizza and watching horror movies. The first time I ever saw Evil Dead 2, and of course I watched Evil Dead 2 before I watched The Evil Dead, I watched it with my Aunt Sandy. Ooh, I like Hawaiian Punch too. The Marvel, you say, the poet. So apparently there's the three Megan Fanta, Five Nights at Freddy's. Two has orange and orange zero sugar. And there's Chucky's Punch. And the pineapple is Halloween too. Yeah. Yeah, there is a strawberry Fanta. You were right, the Marvel. I haven't seen the fruit twist, but that sounds interesting. The poet Friday the 13th, what got you into horror? I guess I could tell y'all about the upcoming week's programming. But y'all keep chatting in there as well. So I just put up a new Evil Dead Chicks slumber party. That's not going to happen until the 21st of November. But it's Evil Dead Chicks, A Nightmare on El Dorado Avenue slumber party. We're going to be watching, hopefully, I'll have some people in there with me, A Nightmare on Elm Street and A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. But coming up in the coming week, I have a celluloid trash tomorrow night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Where I'm going to be talking about Night of the Demon and the Oly Maniac, which I didn't realize was an Asian movie until Steve told me it was. Tuesday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, will be a VHS overload, and I'll be talking about why we love the video store era. Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, that's also my dad's birthday. I will be having an Evil Dead Chicks Top 10 talking about Giallo films. Thursday night will be another They're All Messed Up, and I'll be talking about Bob Clark's Black Christmas from 1974 and the Centerfold Girls, and talking about the kills in each, because, yeah, that's what we do on They're All Messed Up. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and gals. And also to remind you that the QR code in the upper left-hand corner of the screen is for the Deadites on Deck car shop at deaditesondeck.com. You can scan that QR code with your phone, and it will take you, or it will give you a URL that you can tap to go directly to my shop site. And as always, I wanted to let you know, if you're not a horror fan, or even if you are a horror fan and you don't find exactly the design you're looking for, fill out the form on the homepage of the shop site and let me know what it is you so desire, and I'll work with you. Also, if you have a business or side business, or you have a friend or family member that has a business or side business, and you want to get logos put on t-shirts and hats and maybe mouse pads and all that good stuff, I will offer a discount to you for multiple items when you're getting them for a business, okay? And I have a flat rate of $6 shipping. That doesn't matter if you get one item, 10 items, 25 items, 50 items, 100 items, whatever. Hey, Gory Tiger. Yes, Kimberly, there was a Friday the 13th series. Oh, and I absolutely love Xena Warrior Princess. I love that show. Um, the Marvel says to poet, my first horror movie was Pumpkinhead when I was 10, 34 now for context. I just remember seeing the VHS my dad had, though, that the box art for Pumpkinhead was really cool. Yeah, I mean, Pumpkinhead would be a good one to start with. I agree with the poet there. But I'll probably stay on here for a few minutes more, gang. Um, like I said, I didn't mean for this to be a super long stream. As long as people are in here and talking, I'll stay around with you. I about ate all my apple bread that I had here. I had a couple of slices. I'm also glad to see that y'all are subscribing to each other as well. I think that's wonderful. Some of y'all might get quite the fan base, advertising and and stuff like that. The poet, the Fly remakes. I mean, Cronenberg's Fly remake, I absolutely love. I think it probably is for me. It's it's at least one of the best. Another remake I like um, is Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the 70s with Donald Sutherland and Brooke Adams and who am I forgetting here? Jeff Goldblum. But the Fly remake that Cronenberg did and the Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake in the 70s, I thought were really top of the line remakes. I guess I haven't seen The Fly with Mila Kunis. Oh, that's a good one. The poet, the 310 to Yuma. And the Marvel, you say you actually haven't seen any of the versions of The Fly yet? Ah, I've even seen the original Fly. You know, as hokey as it is, sometimes it's still fun. You know, with the rubber fly head and all that. The poet, you say, yeah, I watched the original Fly first. Yeah, with Vincent Price, exactly. Do you know the poet that you probably do, but that one of the final scenes where um, Vincent Price and the other guy are like talking to each other and they see the the fly with the man with the scientist's head and it's going help me in the spider web, you know, around all around that particular scene where they're talking. The reason why they're not facing each other is because they were cracking up laughing. They could not look at each other while they were saying the lines. So that's why they're facing away from each other during those scenes. Oh, I remember somebody else that's in the Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the 70s is Veronica Cartwright. Well, gang, I guess I like I said, this was just meant really for me to come on here and thank all of you guys and gals for supporting me and continuing to support me. Um, So I guess I'm going to go ahead and tie things up here. Um, but I want to thank everybody that was in here, that was chatting, the poet, Kimberly, the Marvel, um, Gory Tiger, Dakota. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anybody here. It's been a lot of good conversation, and I hope. Oh, Blair! I didn't want to forget Blair as well. Um, my favorite memory, Blair, about my YouTube channel. Oh wow, there've been quite a few actually. I think though my favorite memory in the last few years is when there were a lot of people that had the time, I would say, to come on live on the streams with me, and we had those watch alongs and stuff like that. Now I realize the landscape's kind of changed now, and a lot of people are going off and doing their own thing, but I have a fondness for that time period. But you know I think we can make good memories now and in the future as well, um, with the channel. I just feel like there's a never ending source of enjoyment and entertainment and all of that good stuff. That was a good question, Blair. But um, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and tie things up here. As always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the evening, is to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday evening, folks, and Sunday night. Hopefully, we have a good work week ahead of us. Get out there. If you like Aussie, be sure to blast some Aussie and try your best to live the Aussie way. And what do I mean by that? Don't stay stuck in the past, folks. Stay in the present, move forward into the future, and never, ever give up on your dreams. Have a fantastic rest of your night, folks. I love each and every one of you out there, and I'll see everybody next time.